Here I'm only trying to make a point about HTML. So you can develop HTML very easily in Atom. So I'm going to build a web page for uploading data to a database, but in HTML initially. And this program was originally developed to be a mobile application using the Cordova API that allows you to use web applications as mobile applications. So essentially you convert the format so that Android or iOS or what have you can read it natively. I'm not going to do that here, but it will explain a few of the details of what I'm doing. So I start with doc type HTML, the open HTML tag, and the open head tag, as in my previous demonstration. Character set, same as before, will be UTF-8. And as I said, I based this on a previous project, but this, as you can see, I'm coding new here. So my title is going to be different from my old project, which I never actually demonstrated on YouTube. We'll just call this Train Spotter for lack of a better word. Probably won't be for release, but open title, Train Spotter, close title, tag. Now I will add the style sheet. Oops. Oh yeah, forgot a very important thing. You can't just say style sheet, you have to say link relative, link rel, style sheet, and then give the specific name of the style sheet. For an href, this would be similar to how you would identify a link, but this will not be visible in the web page. If I code this correctly, this will merely apply the style sheet to the web page. Then script source, I'm going to put in the plugin here for jQuery to make developing a sophisticated web page easier. For, again, lack of a better term. Close script, even though I'm going to write another one. And exactly the same. Might as well just copy paste. Don't know if that was really faster. Jaxify, my own plugin. Didn't catch this error. I have to close the script. So that's the head. We'll switch to the body now. And here's where it gets into the legacy of how I developed this originally for Cordova. I actually could have put the PHP within this HTML file, or I could have completely written this in PHP, although in that case I would have a separate header and footer probably, and a lot of other details that are peculiar to most PHP development. But instead, I developed this to have a separate PHP file, originally 2 of them actually, which would be kept on a web server, while the application on the phone was written in HTML, JavaScript, and so on. That's not what we're doing here because this is going to be a pure web application, but I'm following the old design for the sake of reliability because I know the old design more or less works. So I have a page wrapper starting with a div or division of the page. So page wrapper, and I'm not going to get fancy. We put in a heading, which is going to be the full size H1. Open H1 tag, title locomotive uploader, and the close H1 tag. If I were going to develop this into a full project, obviously I wouldn't just have a locomotive uploader. I would have a passenger car uploader, a freight car uploader, maybe miscellaneous uploader for station buildings and so on, if I were going to do a comprehensive train spotting package. And it would be a lot like too many other websites on the internet to list, so it's another reason not really to deploy this for real. I'm not doing anything particularly innovative here, but this is going to be for specifically a locomotive table within the train spotting database. So continuing on here, for messages, that's necessary, as I understand it, for Ajax to work. The whole Ajaxify program was written with a lot of outside help, actually, because Ajax, I always find Ajax a little bit cantankerous, even though it's really great once it finally runs. Also along the lines of Ajax, I need that to reference it there, form ID. Otherwise, surprisingly, I don't really need that so much. But then I have the method under PHP. This will be post. This is one of the most mainstream ways to upload data. Not everybody likes it, but I find that simple is often beautiful. And then the PHP file I'm going to use, developed separately, I'm going to call columns, which is a fairly common practice in PHP development. You don't have to call it columns, but it's a reference to the columns in the database. Because each of these fields I'm now going to put in, div, class, field, there's going to be a bunch of divisions within the larger page wrapper division. Each of these is going to represent a column in the database. But I'm out of time, so I'll see you in the next video.